Alright, so today we're making a rainbow warrior. I've already put the lead weight on and the bead. We're using a size 18 hook. And a 3/32 bead. So we're going to start with our purple thread in 6/0. And we'll just get that started on. And we'll go ahead and go over the lead weight. And clip the excess. And we'll take that down to the curve in the hook. And then we're going to tie on some pheasant tail for the tail of the nymph. And when I do this, I know it's hard to see off camera, but I'll pull those pieces of pheasant tail so they're all straight and even with each other, and then cut them off. That just gets you a little straighter tail, and you don't have a bunch of pieces sticking out each side. And see how everything's straight here. And I'll just thread those in. We'll get a couple loops in, and then we'll get the length that we want. So you usually want about half the distance of the hook, maybe a little more. So this one right here is a little longer. I'm going to go ahead and leave it long like that. And then we'll clip off the excess. And then we're going to use medium size pearl tinsel. And if you want to kind of save on this, you can do this with about 1.5 inches. I clipped off closer to 2 inches just to make it easier to wrap, but you can definitely do it with a shorter length. And we'll just tie that right in. And then we'll build up the abdomen of this fly, and then take our thread down to where basically we want to start the wrapping of the rainbow tinsel. We'll bring our thread back up to the front. And then the opposite direction, we'll go ahead and start wrapping that pearl tinsel. You want to make sure and overlap each part, otherwise you might have gaps in it. I've definitely done that a few times. It's not, doesn't make the fly look any worse or anything, but if you just want a nice even wrap, make sure that you overlap it. We'll bring that all the way up to the front. And then we'll tie that in with a couple wraps. And then we'll go ahead and pull that back and basically tie in the distance we want to put the dubbing into. And then we'll grab our rainbow dubbing. And I've been told many times, and this is so true, less is always more. So I would go with a very small amount. You don't need a big, huge clump of dubbing. And you'll notice I kind of twist both directions. I've actually come to find that if you just continue to twist in one direction, it stays on the thread a little easier, and when you wrap it in, it just wraps in a lot better. You'll see that there's a few pieces that kind of stick out, and that's just because I didn't wrap it on very well, but you can always go through and trim that up afterwards, which you'll see me do. And then I'll pull that tinsel forward. That's kind of the flashback of the Rainbow Warrior. We'll tie that in. Get a few wraps in. And then we'll go ahead and clip that off. And you'll see after pulling that forward and everything, most of that dubbing kind of sits in there nice and tight now. And again, I'll clip any of the excess that we have. And then we'll go through, get one whip finish in there, pull it nice and tight. And then with most of my flies, I like to get a second whip finish in there just to get everything locked down and make sure that it doesn't come undone when you're in the water. Again, we pull that nice and tight. And go ahead and clip the thread. And then you'll see I trim it up a little bit just to kind of get rid of those extra long pieces of dubbing that are sticking out. So that's basically it. That's the purple Rainbow Warrior in a size 18. And it's a great fly to fish with. Thanks for watching, guys, and please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.